everyone, it's Heather Sparkles. So for today's video, I want to go deep and I want to really analyze why I am so obsessed with these vintage toys. What is it about them? What is it about toys that appeals to adults? Why would adults still want to collect toys? Let's discuss. So, as you guys could imagine, because I know so many of you write to me and you're in your 30s and like people just in your life, they don't understand why do you like those toys? They think it's such a bad thing. As you guys could imagine, I get quite a few nasty comments about collecting these toys. Thankfully, it's overwhelmingly positive, and even whenever I talk to people in person about them, it's overwhelmingly positive. People are very supportive. People out there I meet thrifting are very, very nice. People help me find this stuff, you know? So, honestly, like, most people won't really care. They have their own lives to live. But every once in a while, you have these people that'll come to wherever you're posting about your toy collecting, and they will lose their minds. So what I wanted to say is that it's okay if you don't like toys. It's okay if you don't understand this or this. Like, if it's not for you, that's totally fine. Just don't be a jerk about it. You might be surprised if you just talk to people that are doing something a little bit weird. You might be surprised that they'll really open up to you because they're so excited to talk about this thing, and you might make a new friend. So try to be a little bit more open-minded, okay? So for me, these toys, they're just really, really special. I guess what really draws me to them is the overall aesthetic. I don't really view them as something to be like, oh, I'm gonna play with. It's more of a, wow, this thing represents like my imagination. It represents my creative image for things. This overall aesthetic is like what I like with, like, it's what I like to draw. It's like the colors I like to wear. It's just me. Like, it just screams me. I don't know how else to describe it. So I view these more as like works of art than toys. Like, to me, like, I don't view them as something to really play with. Like, yeah, like I got something the other day that I reviewed and like, yeah, you know, I was playing with it a little bit, but I'm not like playing. I'm just kind of messing with it and looking at it and, you know, stuff like that. So I don't think that I'm a child. I know I'm very much an adult. I'm not trying to like hang on for dear life to my childhood or anything like that. In fact, I would never want to be a kid again because I don't like not being in control of my own life and what I wear and what I want to do. I wouldn't want to be a kid again. I like very much being an adult, and I don't view this as childish. I just don't for some reason, and maybe that's just whatever's going on with, you know, how I view the world, and that's why other people look at this and go, that's really childish. But for me, I'm just like, this is just fun, you know? It's fun and it's cool, and what's wrong with wanting to have fun? Like, what's wrong with like innocent fun, like just collecting toys? Like, so what? We have so many problems in today's world, and people shouldn't be worried about like, okay, an adult has a magical puppy, like so what? Is it hurting anybody? No. In fact, I really think that stuff like this really helps people, and I know it does because I hear from people that write to me and say how, you know, they dealt with a lot, or they have a really tough job, or they're dealing with anxiety, and they come home to their little collection that they've been working on, and they feel like so happy when they see their collection. It just eases away the day, like in a healthy way. Like, there are so many people that turn to drugs and alcohol, and it's nice to know that instead of that, there are people that just have a hobby. You don't have to collect toys, just have a hobby. Like, a hobby that doesn't hurt anyone. Like, I think everyone needs a hobby. Life is very stressful. Life, it can be really scary sometimes. And while yes, we have to face many hard times, sometimes you just need to decompress, and you can only take so much like doom and gloom before you just need to just look at a cute stuffed animal and like then you just feel better, you know? It's like, all right, let's not worry about that thing so much. Like, yes, we have to be very like aware of issues in our world, and we have to be really trying to fix things and all that stuff. I'm not saying like forget all your responsibilities and collect toys. I'm just saying that you can only take so much. You need like 10-20 minutes a day where you can just unwind and just look at something cute, and I think it makes people feel a lot better. So now let's talk about me. Like, what do I think? Why do I specifically like this stuff? And I'm sorry that my brush of love might be like blinding you guys. So people have all kinds of theories about me, but the truth is, I just love this stuff. So what I collect is mainly toys from the 80s and 90s. I do collect a little bit of modern stuff. I'm just a toy geek. I love that stuff. I love cute things. I love figures. I love all that kinds of stuff. But with these guys, there's something about the aesthetic. These toys have a look that you just don't see anymore. Like, their eyes are always like really detailed and magical. They're just really, really neat to look at, honestly. And for me, like, I don't look at these and think, I am a 5-year-old. I look at them and think, wow, here's this magical work of art. And I guess it's because I have the creative mind more than the thinker. You know, I'm that kind of person. So whenever I see these, I see art. I see something that I would design, a product that I would like to make. So yeah, like there's just something about them that speaks to me creatively. Like ever since I was a kid, whenever I started collecting My Little Pony from the 80s, when I first started this whole journey, I just always viewed them as art. They just really inspired me. They brought out something in me creatively. And that's why I love them so much. Like, I like decorating my house with toys because to me, like, I view them the same way as I view a painting. I just do. I don't know why. I just think they're really, really cool. You know, I always wanted to sculpt and wouldn't it be cool if I could sculpt something like that? I don't know. So like I said, there's the creative element for me. Another thing is, of course, something that everyone that collects these says, the thrill of the find. It's so cool to have a hobby where you're going out treasure hunting, because, you know, not all of us can go out and be archaeologists, but we can be toy archaeologists, right? And we can go to thrift stores and salvage places, and we can really hunt down these things we want to collect. You get what I mean? So there's a thrill to finding these toys that are no longer made. Like, I think that adds another level of fun to vintage toy collecting. And honestly, they're just fun. And I think that, you know, as we grow up, you know, yes, we have a lot of responsibilities and all kinds of stuff. We take care of ourselves, our families, our lives, but you gotta have room to have a little bit of fun. And let's face it, no matter how old you are, toys are just fun. And you know what? It's really important to grow up, but it doesn't mean you have to grow miserable or become mean. Like, so many people that have a problem with this stuff are like the meanest people. And it's so sad that people become so bitter and cold, and it's really sad. Like, you can hang on to that like excited, happy part of you that you were as a kid, you know, while also still being a responsible adult. Like, you can live with that balance. And you know, I don't want to be bitter and mean someday, you know? But yeah, so that's pretty much why I collect. Yes, I have lived through a lot in my life, and I know people might be like, well, there's obviously something wrong with you if you do this. And I think it's important that we don't make fun of people that have lived through trauma in some way. Like, let's just not like make fun of them. Like, why don't we make fun of the people that put them through that trauma? Like why are we making fun of someone who copes by just, you know, collecting something? Like, why is that so wrong? There's so many worse things that people do to cope with like bad things that have happened to them. And it's really, really sad that people turn to things that are not good for them. So I think it's really great when someone can just have a hobby. Like I said, you don't have to collect toys, but let's say like if you go running or hiking or whatever, or if you have a hobby that's a little bit different like toy collecting, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, after all, it's adults who are developing these toys. I mean, so there has to be like people in the industry that like toys, you know what I mean? But honestly, what I wanted to say to you guys out there that are watching who like this stuff is that you don't have to have an excuse for why you collect toys. You do not like have to justify it to people by like all the stuff I just said, like, well, there's a certain aesthetic and I view them as art. Like, guess what? You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't. Just have fun and live your life. You know, if there's someone in your life that's being that negative about it, well, that's really, really sad. And I feel so sorry for that person that they are letting something so innocent and harmless come between you guys, because that's really, really sad. So yeah, that's pretty much why I collect these toys. If you guys want to share with the world why you collect toys, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear all about it. I guess very quickly though, I should talk about how did all of this happen? How did I end up as this pink-haired girl who talks about toys on YouTube? Well, I don't really know. This is just me. I guess it all kind of started whenever I was younger. I started by collecting rocks because I really wanted to be a geologist. I loved rocks, all different types. I really loved, like, you know, the natural world and learning more about it. And then I got really into Pokemon, and you know, I was getting all the different cards because I was really into the trading card game and I collected the cards. And then around that time, I discovered My Little Pony, because I think I got a My Little Pony in my Happy Meal. And then not long after that, I found the 90s My Little Ponies in the store and I totally fell in love with them. I thought they were so cool and interesting. And then somehow through Gen 2, that was around the time I had just got internet in the late 90s. And I looked up My Little Pony websites because I was really into My Little Pony. And you know, the first thing I looked up on the internet was Cartoon Network and then My Little Pony. And it was much tamer on the My Little Pony side of the internet back then. So I found about Gen 1. People had websites for their collection. There were like these little like web rings and collector forums and stuff. And that's how I found out about My Little Pony. And as a kid, I started collecting all the time. I somehow got my mom to take me to flea markets and she was helping me find them. And so it was something really fun I got to do as a kid. You know, I did have a rough childhood. I was bullied really bad. So like, of course, like the toys were a really fun part of my childhood. And you might be like, well, maybe, you know, because you dealt with bad stuff, you held on to the toys. And that could be true, or maybe it's because it worked for me. You know, whenever I was going through something really, really bad that like I couldn't fix, as far as like, you know, stuff at school and people not being so nice to me, I was able to focus on my collecting hobby, and that hobby put my mind in a positive place. I could have turned to much darker things, and instead I collected something and I had fun and I got out on the weekends and I bartered with vendors just like I do today. Like, I'm someone who, you know, I don't want to be rude, and so I tend to let people walk all over me, but when I really want to buy something at a flea market, I like to barter. And so it's kind of pushed me to be a little bit more like assertive, you know, and not being so afraid to speak up, because before then I would just throw someone whatever amount of money they want. But now I'm kind of like, well, let me try to talk to this person and see if I can make a deal. And I wasn't like that like 2 years ago. I wasn't. But anyways, back to collecting as a kid. So yeah, I was really obsessed with My Little Pony. I knew everything about them, and I feel bad because over the years I've forgotten, and you guys have been like letting me know where I've made some mistakes in my videos, and I do appreciate it. And I want to apologize. Like, I'm not the best source for like learning about these toys. I just hope I inspire you to go teach yourself. What was I saying? Well, where was I? I don't know, I got distracted by cute things. So I was really into collecting, and then like a bunch of bad stuff happened in my teens that I won't talk about, and my Little Ponies were stored away for many, many years, like 12 years. And I'm just now getting them out, and I just now have my own place where I could have my own collection room. So I finally like really started pursuing my dreams of having like a big giant vintage toy collection, and it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot about myself through this. I've just learned so much, and I never imagined that collecting something like this would teach me so much about myself and would be such a positive outlet that I really, really needed in my life. And so if anyone wants to make fun of me, or if they want to like analyze me or say I'm a bad person because these are for berbers, then that's fine. Let's not kill any more sky dancers. Let's put her aside. That's fine. I am at a point in my life where, you know, you waste so much time in your life worrying about what other people think, and there's just nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. People are gonna hate you no matter how put together you are. Someone will hate you for, let's say, having pink hair. So you dye your hair brown and they find another reason to hate you. So the best thing you can do is live your life, collect your toys. There's a lot more adult collectors than you may think. You think this stuff's expensive because kids are playing with it? Oh no, honey. People know there's an adult market for this stuff. So I hope that gave you guys a little bit of insight about me, about why I collect. Basically, I think this stuff looks really cool. It's really cute. It's a lot of fun to collect. I've met some great people through collecting, and I don't regret it one bit. So yeah, that's my story. That's why I collect these things. That's a little analysis. If you have any deeper questions, maybe we can go even deeper in another video. You can let me know. A lot of people have said that I need to see a therapist because I want to buy stuff that I never had as a kid, and I think that is so funny because they have no idea like what they're talking about. It's just so funny. So like I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry if people are giving you a hard time about it. Just live your life, you know, be you. And they're just jealous they're not having as much fun as you are. Alright guys, I love you all so much. Please keep collecting. Please keep being yourself. And you know, if you're one of those people watching, because I get letters like this, where you say that you've had your toys stored away for a while, or you've really wanted to start collecting, but you're so scared, go for it. Go for it. You got me and the rest of the Sparkle fam supporting you 100%. I am going to be starting our own Facebook group here soon. I'm going to need some volunteer moderators who can like be really like up on that group, because I have a lot going on and I can't manage the whole thing by myself, but I would like to make a collectors group. There's already some out there, but it would be nice if the Sparkle fam had their own official group. So I just wanted to say one more thing. It's so important that you guys start living a life that you will not regret. There is so much to do in life and you only have so much time. It's a sad reality. And so many of us don't do things we really want to do because of other people. Other people saying, oh, that's stupid, or they're gonna make fun of you, or whatever. And there are so many of us who are just living lives that we know just aren't quite right for us, or there's so much we wish we can do. And the reason that, you know, I have pink hair and that, you know, I collect what I like and I wear really weird clothes is because I am so tired. I'm so tired of letting other people control me and telling me, you know, what I should be like, or I am a freak, or I'm a weirdo. Like, okay, I am a freak, I am a weirdo, and I'm gonna totally embrace it and live my life. And you know, I want to be an old lady someday with pink curly hair who can say that I regret nothing. There's a lot I do regret though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have a lot of regrets in my life, but I think my biggest regret is that I didn't do this sooner. That I didn't say, forget you, I'm gonna have pink hair, I'm gonna collect toys, I'm gonna be open about it. Like, you know, just in general, the fact that I didn't wear what I want in my early 20s. Like, I didn't just wear what I want, you know? And I was so afraid to step out at the mall, at a crowded mall, wearing like a pink fluffy dress. And now, like, I'll do that, you know? I'll feel really weird about it, but I know that I'm wearing something that makes me feel so good about myself and so happy. So don't be afraid to be you. That's all I wanted to say, guys. I'm gonna go now. I love you all so much. Please live a life you will not regret. I don't want you to be old someday and be sitting there and be like, man, I really wish I had colored my hair. Or man, I really wish I had collected this one thing. Like, if you can do it, if you can do something, please do it. Just don't hurt anybody, of course, you know. but you guys get what I'm saying. All right, I'm gonna go now. I hope this inspiration helped you guys. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video, Sparkle fam. Bye.